Welcome to a new episode of The World of Company Secretaries. In today's episode, we have CS Rahul Sahasrabudhe. CS Rahul sir's story is very inspiring. Would you ever imagine, after studying your schooling in Marathi medium, would you ever imagine that you can reach the post of the Western India Regional Council chairperson of ICSI or start your practice in securities law litigation, corporate law litigation? Yes. This is the story of CS Rahul Sahasrabudhe, who has done all this, and this story will inspire you in this episode of The World of Company Secretaries. Before we get into the interview, just a small introduction of CS Rahul Sahasrabudhe. He is a fellow member of the ICSI New Delhi, and he has worked in NSDL, NSE, different stockbroking companies before starting his own practice in the firm of SPRS & Co. LLP. At his firm, they specialize in securities law litigation and corporate law litigation, which not many company secretaries are going into, and that will be very interesting for us to understand how this field can be a huge opportunity for you who is an aspiring company secretary or already a company secretary and looking into getting into these areas of litigation. Rahul sir is on the board of studies at St. Xavier's College in Mumbai. Besides that, he writes lot of articles in newspapers and magazines, including ICSI's Chartered Secretary Journal, where he writes very deep researched articles, which is very useful for all the readers. Besides writing articles, he is a speaker at ICSI, ICAI, and the Cost Accountant Institute. And not only is he practicing and working in the area of litigation as a specialization, he has also done lot of service for the ICSI. In fact, in the year 2020, he was the chairman of the Western India Regional Council, and this will be very interesting to know his entire journey. Let us get into the interview of CS Rahul Sahasrabudhe on this episode of The World of Company Secretaries. In this episode of The World of Company Secretaries, we have CS Rahul Sahasrabudhe. Hello, Rahul sir. Welcome to The World of Company Secretaries.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome and good morning.
Yes, sir. We are very happy that you're here. Sir, as we told in the introduction, you have a very great experience and we are very eager to learn from you from the rich experience which you have. So the first thing is we would like to know right now, what do you do in your practice? And then we can go to the other questions.
Okay, surely. Thank you. Thank you once again. See, currently, as you know, I'm a practicing company secretary and I have my office set up from Mumbai, Thane. And I have majorly practice. I'm majorly practicing into NCLT, Mumbai.
Yes, sir. So mainly is the NCLT practice in Mumbai, which your firm and you are handling. But this is one question we would like to know from every guest, because no matter how high the guest has reached today, there would have been a day where they did not know the two words called company secretary, and how did they take the course and what inspired them to take CS course. So in your case, when did you take CS course and how did you get to know about it?
Yeah. See, I started preparing for CS course immediately after I finished my graduation. It was a bit late though. CS foundation option was always available, but I had different career plans at that point of time. But anyway, I was able to finish my CS in 2003. I had lots of ups and downs in this tumultuous 5 years. Instead of saying clearing exam was not easier those days, I would say the current generation is a lot more smarter than us. See, the information accessibility was not easier during those days. So that's why this 5 year gap was taken by me to complete my qualification.
Okay, sir. So since you told that you took it up after your graduation and then you became a company secretary, so can you tell a little bit more about your days of a student? That is, what are the struggles you went through and
Yeah.
your training days? So that will be very interesting for us to know.
Yes. Before I straight away jump on to my student days as a company secretary student, I would go back just 3 years before, when I was in second year BCom. See, I did my 10th standard from a vernacular medium. So I did my metric from a Marathi medium. So I had my own limitations in adapting to English language.
Correct.
In second year BCom, yes, there was a one particular day a lecturer asked me a question on what is negotiable instrument holiday. Nobody in the class knew what was an answer, but I knew it. But I could not give that answer in English, so I gave that answer in Hindi English. So the professor was very upset with me, and he told me that you can't even speak English. From there onwards, I decided that I must master the English language. Thereafter, I started reading Times of India. I used to spend 6 hours a day in reading that newspaper. So I used to read it from the T till the name of the editor. So I used to go through the whole editorial page. I used to jot down the words which I don't know, and there I improved the language. This has helped me in one of the competitions which my college had. So there was a quiz competition, general knowledge quiz competition, and my team knew exactly. My team knew all the questions which was asked in that general knowledge competition. So that was another advantage. So first of all, you need to get command over a language. So which I did in second year. I think within 6 months I got command over a bit of command over English. Though I don't use Shakespearean English. And Yeah, post to that, since 98, once I joined my CS course, there also our general commercial law chapter 1 Constitution of India helped me a lot, because
Okay.
I thoroughly read that chapter at least 5 to 6 times. Again, I repeated the same process. The things or the words which I don't know, it developed my vocabulary. And general commercial law, that particular book it has immense knowledge. You get overall knowledge of practically all the laws in India, and understand by reading that particular book, you know how to read a legal, how to know any Bayer Act, or how to know any law related book.
Yeah, that has become now jurisprudence, interpretation, general law, same subject.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. So my practice is to read, and read. So I do not sleep unless and until I read at least three newspapers a day.
That is even today, sir.
Today, yes.
Okay, that's good. So you told about your BCom, and I think that's a very interesting point you made. Many students study in vernacular medium, whether it is Marathi, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, so many languages are there. But I think your experience is very good that it doesn't matter. Even if you are from vernacular medium, if you have the interest, you can learn. And you did it within 6 months where you got a reasonable command, which is really nice to know. So before we go next, sir, because we're talking about English, can you tell us how important is English in our profession of CS?
Yes, our profession of CS English is important, though I would not say that the person who knows English knows everything in the world.
Correct.
uh, uh, See, language doesn't matter, frankly speaking, but we are into such a profession that we come across stakeholders from multiple states. So just by having command over your own mother tongue may not suffice in this case. We deal with central regulatory authorities, we deal with state regulatory authorities. So yes, you need to know English. And here really, as Subramaniam Swami always says, that had Germany won the Second World War, the German would have been the language of the world. But
Correct.
unfortunately, it's not so. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's not so. Rather,
Yes.
I'm saying unfortunately,
Yeah.
fortunately or unfortunately, it's not so.
Yeah, history
Uh,
took a different turn.
yeah, history took a different turn. So that's why we had to live with English, and we really have to know, have to have a reasonable command over this language.
Yes, sir. I think that's a very important point which you have made. So now going, we can talk about your training days, sir. Now, once you
Yeah.
finished your exams, like where did you do your training and what was your learnings during CS training days?
Yeah, I immediately started once I finished my CS Inter. I started training with one Mr. S. Krishnamurthy, but unfortunately the travel time was too much, and I could not immediately within 2 months I had to leave that job because my exams were also coming. My final exams were also coming. Generally, this was the catch 22 situation. Generally,
Correct.
students fall in. So I'll tell you exactly how to deal with this situation. So I did not. I left that 2 months training period, and I prepared for my one of the groups of CS final.
Final. Yeah.
And fortunately, I cleared that group as well in that exam. And then immediately I joined Anand Tambadekar and Associates. He's a practicing company secretary from Thane, and I did my training under him. And till the time I got qualified, I remained with him.
Okay, sir. That's nice to know. So, as soon as you qualified, how did the journey take you further, sir, after qualification and finishing the training?
Yeah. As soon as I qualified, I still remain with Anand Tambadekar and Associates. He was really a gentleman. I'll just whenever I tell that I did training with him, apart from the knowledge which I gained from him, he not only ensured that even for pitching a client, he used to take me to with him. So generally that doesn't matter. So whenever there is a first visit with the client, generally the boss does not take his trainee with him,
Correct.
but he gave me even that experience, that how to speak with client, how to retain a client. So I had a lot of learning. He had conventional as well as non-conventional work with him. So conventional, yes, there were incorporations, etc., etc. So I'll not touch upon this because that everything is written in
Correct.
the books, that how to farm a company, etc., etc. There were few other things which I did in my life. So as to drafting an agreement, how to draft an agreement. So I actually learned it from him, how to draft leave and license agreement, how to draft other types of agreement, because we generally company secretaries, I think we generally company secretaries do not focus on this, and this is also
Correct.
a wonderful area of practice.
Yes.
I also helped him in incorporation of a cooperative society. So it was a multidisciplinary cooperative society. I also helped him in incorporating a cooperative society having 1,000 residential units. So
Oh,
that was an amazing work. So I did this as well. And of course, conventional FEMA practice, company law advisory practice. It was a secretarial audit report, not secretarial, compliance audit report at that time. So we had everything under the roof with him. So it was an amazing learning from him.
yes, sir. Sir, here you touched upon drafting skills and how that can be a huge area of practice. So, from your experience, can you please let the viewers know about how big and what is the opportunities which is there when we talk about contracts and drafting?
Uh, yes, because drafting a contract or drafting an agreement does not need not necessarily be an advocate or advocate on record, or whatever we say. You need not be a practicing advocate. So even a company secretary can do it. When I say even a company secretary can do it, means we are pitching into somebody else's profession. But yes, we can certainly do it, and we can definitely I would call it as a cross sell our skills with the clients. So we can
Yes.
approach clients saying that why you need another professional on board when company secretary can also do it. So
Yes.
that's why I'm saying yes, drafting will really help.
Sure, sir. And sir, in your case, you have a very unique experience where you have worked with the securities market, NSDL, and things like that. So, there, can you please tell us some of the anecdotes or two, three experiences? Because every student who's doing the CS course or even a member, not everyone has exposure to the securities market, though we know that role of CS is very important over there. So, since you have done it and you had a huge experience there, the anecdotes which you share will be really insightful.
Yes, we do have a subject called as security laws and compliances.
Correct.
However, on paper it looks fantastic, but the securities market related compliances, to understand these compliances, you really need to work on the job. So it's like this: if you're a pilot, just by reading the books, you will not be a good pilot. So you have to actually sit. You have to actually work as a second pilot. You have to sit behind a pilot who is actually flying the aeroplane.
Correct.
So here also securities laws compliances are operational level compliances. These are very dynamic compliances. Every day there would be some circular by the stock exchanges or SEBI reporting formats, etc., etc. And since our securities market is near to real time basis.
Yeah.
When I say real time basis is when you buy or sell the stock, immediately your bank account gets hit, your demat account gets hit. So there cannot be any lagging into compliance. So you need to be extreme. You need to be on your toes while doing these compliances. When I started my journey with National Securities and Depository Limited, and after working with that particular institution, I really understood I started understanding the stock market. And after 1 year, I thought, oh, I understood the stock market, everything. I understood everything. And then I started working with National Stock Exchange. I realized I haven't learned even 1% of what stock market is. So in NSE also, it was an amazing experience. After leaving NSE, I started working with stockbroking houses. So I worked with three of the most prestigious stockbroking houses in India. And there, everywhere, I realized I didn't know anything about stock market. So unless and until you really worked with the stockbroker, knowing stock market is, I think it's difficult. So you really need to work with stockbrokers to understand the stock market.
So can you tell a little bit more about the role in each of the things, whether it is NSDL, NSE, or with the stockbroking houses? What was the brief kind of role which you used to handle?
Yes, in NSDL, I was an officer in legal and investor grievance department. In National Stock Exchange, I was a team member of listing and compliance department. In stockbroking houses, two stockbroking houses, I was a compliance officer as well as head legal, and another major stockbroking houses, I used to handle secretarial work. So that was my brief thing.
Yeah, so your career was going really well with the securities market, with working with NSDL, NSC, and also the stockbroking houses. So what made you feel you should get into practice? Because more often than not, people will say, okay, sab kuch theek hai, everything is going well. Why should I go and take the risk of practice? So how did you make that decision, and how did you start?
Yeah, it was a very late start for me to join practice, frankly speaking. But I don't repent, because 12 years of my experience with corporates has made me learn many things, and that is really helping me in my practice. So the entry was very late, and I'm only 6 year old in practice. So many of my students are senior to me in practicing field. But yes, on one fine day, I thought working for somebody is not that good, and I should start working for myself. Then I had my friend had a very good practice, CS Sanjay Parab, and we did our CS together, and he was kind enough to offer me equal partnership, with a condition that within 6 months our revenue has to double. And we doubled our revenue. We doubled his revenue in 3 months itself, and then immediately we signed a partnership deed, and there we started the journey. And yes, it's good that we have many more company secretaries on board, and recently we have also inducted one more partner.
Okay, that's really nice to know, sir. Because very often people who are watching this may feel that once you get into corporate, you should only be there, or the other way around. But actually, your rich experience in the corporate and the securities market would have actually helped you to grow faster in practice than compared to somebody who's a fresher who's just starting off, or somebody with 2 3 years experience.
I would slightly put it differently, Alok.
Yeah.
I would call it as you really have to take a call what you want to do, because it doesn't. You should not be joining practice because you can't be good in employment, or vice versa. So you really have to decide what you want to do, and then only you should arrive at a conclusion. Because I was a fence sitter almost for 12 years. Jana hai, nahi jana hai.
Okay.
Uh, it was fortunate that I got somebody who offered me partnership. But if you really want to work for yourself from the day go after getting your qualification, it is still a good option. So never think of ki I'll do good at employment for 5 years and then I'll join practice. See, there will always be a transition period of 3 years, whether
Yes.
you join today or you join after 20 years. So 3 year gestation period आप पकड़ के चलिए.
I think this is a very important piece of advice that whether no matter what is your age or interest, if you start practice, you will have a 3 year gestation period, but overall it's going to work out really well. Sir, going further, since you have a firm and it's based out of Mumbai and Thane, and you have multiple partners and a bigger team, what are the kind of laws that your firm handles, and what are the kind of assignments with the wide range of assignments that you take?
Yeah. Of course, we handle company law. From corporate law, we handle securities law. We also handle foreign exchange related laws. Not only advisory services, but also our representation services before various authorities. My firm is also having expertise in formation of non-banking financial corporations. We also help the companies to get listed on MSME as well as to the main board of the stock exchange. And yes, debt listing is also one of the thing. We also helped a company in getting all the necessary registrations, a foreign company to get all the necessary registration to set up factory in India. So that was another means two of my partners were continuously doing for 2 years the same job again and again.
Mhm.
And that was also an amazing experience. And apart from this, and one of my partner is into NCLT, and that's how our practice is today.
Yes, sir. So there's a huge range of opportunities, especially for the viewers, since most of them are either just starting off or they're still studying CS. They feel that company law is very limited and it is like form or something related to only secretarial document. Yes, that is one part of it, but there's a huge opportunities, like you said. And you'd mentioned about NCLT, even initially and just now, sir. So in NCLT, what are the wide opportunities? Because despite company secretaries who have opportunity in NCLT, we see that even when we see in Bangalore NCLT, most of them are advocates and lawyers, and very few are company secretaries who are representing. So, can you tell us what are the opportunities? First point, and second point, how should one be prepared in terms of skills and preparation to appear in NCLT?
See, if you really don't have any case in NCLT, I would advise to become a regular NCLT practitioner. You have to keep on going to NCLT, sit, listen to what are the proceedings. At least you do it for 3 4 months. Try to assist another professional, either it is company secretary or lawyer. Assist him in his matters. It may be you may not get anything out of that, but at least for 3 4 months you'll understand what are the different proceedings which happen, what is application, what is petition, what is rejoinder, what is sir rejoinder, how it is to be drafted, how to present well. It may also happen that a professional is not able to appear in the court, so he may give you a call. You represent on his behalf, you take dates on his behalf. So if you do like this, definitely the professionals whose hands are full, he'll start releasing his cases to you, and that way you can develop your practice.
So you can start small and, like you said, assist a senior professional who's a CS or a lawyer, and slowly you'll be able to learn. I think this is again a very good advice, because starting is a big problem for many people. They say, okay, how do we start? We didn't learn it during training, etc. But I'm sure this piece of advice will go a long way. So going further, we'll stick with litigation. You are having a good experience with securities law litigation, and not many people have dealt with this when we talk about, again, company secretary profession. So can you tell us a little bit about what are the kinds of litigation which comes about, and how should one be prepared to face it?
Similar to understand, when I speak about securities market litigation, so the trigger point will be a Securities and Exchange Board of India. So if in case of any non-compliances, Securities and Exchange Board of India issues notice that is called as a show cause notice to respective market participant. So you can help your client to draft replies to that show cause notices. These show cause notices could be for insider trading violation. It could be for a violation of unfair trade practices, or conducting commissioning of unfair trade practices. It could be for non-compliances with listing agreement. So these are the major areas for which SEBI may issue notice, show cause notices to your clients, and you can help your client in making representations. You can help your client in making representations before SEBI, and post that, once anything negative order is issued against you, then the SEBI, then you may approach against SEBI's order with Securities Appellate Tribunal. And after Securities Appellate Tribunal, if you're unlucky, then the matter goes to Supreme Court of India. And of course, as a company secretary, you cannot appear before Supreme Court of India. So you have practice to be before SEBI as well as before SAT. So even we can appear before SAT.
Yes, sir. So SEBI and SAT, in fact, that was one of my questions which I was planning to ask you about. We know that lawyers are the only ones, being the members of the Bar Council of India, who can appear before the courts, or what not tribunals, that is the traditional courts. But it is also a fact that when it comes to a specialized law, like corporate laws or securities market, company secretaries have in-depth knowledge as compared to maybe some of the lawyers. We can't generalize. Of course, there are some great lawyers who have amazing knowledge, but most of them who don't have that knowledge also are appearing. Is there something which you feel that even company secretaries should be allowed to appear before the courts only in specialized matters, which is having specialized knowledge? What is your opinion on that?
See, as a subject expert, yes, we also get called, but appearing before normal courts is, I think, it's a bit difficult, because you need to be on the rolls of Bar Council of
Yeah.
India. And once you are on the on the rolls of Bar Council of India, you cannot hold CS practice certificate.
Yes.
COP, holding COP is not possible. And yes, there are few Chinese line, there are few watermarks that I will not step into your territory, you
Yes.
don't step into my territory. And anyway, before quasi judicial authorities, we have our presence getting felt. So we have to work on that. So rather than pitching on normal courts, if we keep our footprints, larger footprints on the opportunity which is before us, I think that cake is yet to be eaten. So let us not think about practicing in
Okay.
normal courts.
Yeah, I think that cake is yet to be eaten is true. That opportunity is already so huge that first let us eat that cake and then we can look at the bigger cake later. So talking about the Chinese line, and we don't step into each other's roles, which you were just mentioning. Uh, Company secretary is a younger profession compared to law and the chartered accountant profession in India. And we have grown leaps and bounds thanks to the ICSI effort over the years. But still, despite all that, the positioning is somewhere we have suffered literally. That is, we know what a lawyer does, we know what a CA does. So we say CS does both kind of things. So how do we become independent professionals, which is recognized for their specialized area of knowledge? What are your views on this?
I'll put it this way. See, in 2003, when I was a student of company secretary course, the profile of CS in 2003, thanks to our senior members, the profile has increased a lot. What company secretaries were in 2003, the position in 2021 is totally changed. Earlier, we used to do, of course, because of industry practices, we used to do post-event compliances. Means money is given. How to make this thing legalized,
Correct.
whether to show it as a loan or etc. etc. So we were given post-event compliances. You handle this. But now the businessman, before taking any major business decision, they ask company secretary first: Can I do this? Should I do this?
Yes.
Is there any complication? Because reverting that decision changed. Now we are, earlier we were post facto compliances. Now, before taking decision, people are asking us what they should do. And yes, people before setting their business already seeking views of a country, that whether really they should go for LLP, they should go for CS, they should go for company, what kind of company, what capital, etc., etc. So we are heard even before they take a business decision now. That's a very impactful journey we have achieved.
Yes, I think that is the major shift, and this is the kind of insights which we look in this show, which is the world of company secretaries, where you told that from 2003 to now, when we look at the entire picture in a bird's eye view, there's a huge change. And the biggest thing is businessmen and founders and entrepreneurs are consulting company secretaries before they take big decisions. And this is something which everyone should be aware, especially people who are upcoming in the profession. Sir, the next thing is since you're handling so many laws, how do you keep yourself updated? Like, how do you make sure that you're at the top of every law with the latest amendments and the case laws and everything? How do you update yourself?
See, I'm a great fan of Game of Thrones, and
Okay.
I always remember one line which Ygritte reminding that I know nothing. And whenever I come across any question, my I start my journey to approach to that particular question. First of all, I see to it that I don't give an answer on an immediate basis. And there you will be surprised to know that there are a few corporates in India who have a policy not to reply to any of the email on the same day. So you have to reply an email only after 24 hours, because
Hmm.
if you give an immediate reply, there is every chance that in haste you are bound to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So take first 3 hours in understanding what the problem is, then what are the different laws, and really after reading the important law books, it is advisable to give any decision.
Yeah.
So you have to re-refer those books. But my company secretary course, my journey as a company secretary have taught me which book I need to read and which section of the book I need to read. So that is what my profession has taught me.
Yeah.
So I follow this practice, and this is how I approach any problem which is before me.
Yes, sir. So you told us about how you update yourself. Sir, one more thing which is slightly a different question is relating to um, the scope of practice. So the scope of practice, like you said, has widened beyond the core secretarial work. So what are some of the areas which young professionals have to look into apart from the core secretarial? Because core secretarial is something which easily they get work, and initially it's the bread and butter, they have to do it, but they have the interest that we should get into something else. So, as somebody who's been around for almost 2 decades, what would you suggest them? Where can they start with the newer areas of practice?
Newer areas of practice, definitely we can start reading balance sheets of our client, because there is an ample there is enough information. So my piece of advice to young professionals would be just look at their cash balances. So if the company is having ideal cash balances, you can help company to deploy those cash balances, giving better returns. That is also one of the very wonderful opportunity which company secretaries can grab. Number two, definitely you can keep on updating your knowledge about non-corporate related laws. Huh? So it could be securities laws. Keep on reading the journals, the legal journals. Keep on reading the orders passed by SEBI. Refer on a daily basis RBI websites. Refer on business news websites. So there is an ample information which is available. You can also start writing articles, because and any important Supreme Court judgment, reportable Supreme Court judgment, you can read it out, make an extract of the judgment, convert it into an article, and that also project yourself as really an intelligent company secretary. That's how you will start getting business. You can pitch yourself as a professional who can draft agreements with your clients. So even client can save money as well there on that front, and you can help getting these kind of cross selling your skills.
Yes, sir. So there is a huge opportunity that is very clear from whatever message you're giving us. Sir, one more question relating to some of the softwares have come about in the market about the secretarial work. So how good are these softwares, and have you used them, and do you see these softwares becoming mainstream in terms of everyone using it. Can you tell us a little bit about these tools and softwares for core
Yeah.
secretarial work?
Yeah, before answering this question, let me be very frank. Homo sapiens cannot be replaced. Human intelligence cannot be replaced. So whichever software you have, I started using few softwares, but software is just like a reminders.
Hmm.
To wake up in the morning, you set few alarms, but unless and until you really wake up, nothing happens. So you really have to open your eyes. You have to get out of your bed to really wake up. Alarms won't help. So these softwares are like alarms. So unless and until human beings do not really work for compliance, towards compliance, the compliances, real compliances will not happen.
Okay.
uh, so machines cannot replace man totally.
Yes, yes. Okay, sir. That is good to know. Because that is one common worry for everyone right now. So you set the record straight. So since the large part of our audience are students who are studying the course, what do you feel are the soft skills which they should work on and they should get the skills?
So the first and foremost soft skill I will advise all of you is read and read. Rest all soft skills will follow.
Okay.
Keep yourself keep talking to people, keep showing your knowledge there. How you will I'll I would request you to please, I'll advise you to take participations in competitions, like elocution competitions for students. I'm saying for elocution
Yes.
competitions. Also get yourself registered for few extracurricular activities. Do that extracurricular activities. Be good at any game, any, may it be cricket, may it be football, play it. So because playing game, doing a physical activity will help you confident throughout the day, and confidence is the key. That's it. If you are confident, you can do anything in life.
Yes, sir. So now you told us right from the time you took company secretary course, which is after your degree, and how you worked very hard in your training days, and how that rich experience helped you about the securities market, NSDL, NSE, then the stockbrokers, then practice, and you've given us a lot of suggestions. Despite this, how did you think of serving the institute? Because you were the WRC chairman for the year 2020. How did that come about? And what do you see is the contribution which the institute can make overall for the progress of this profession?
See, institute is already making a lot of contributions. It's an Himalayan contribution which institute is
Yes.
making in developing our profession. And I'm a very small fish in giving, like in Ramayana, even Sri Ram recognized effort of a squirrel. That
Correct.
squirrel really didn't, her help was not that big as Sri Hanuman or other vanars.
Yes.
But I'm a squirrel, and I am trying my level best to help my institute. And we youngsters also, I have seen youngsters do not turn up for institute's activity, and you really have to give it back to our profession, because what we give back to our institute after we become member is only 3 to 5 thousand rupees as our membership fee to institute. We have to give much more than that, and that's your time, because money doesn't matter. What matters is you devoting time for the institute, because that is how our profession will grow.
Okay, sir. That's really nice to know that you're giving quite some time, because institute works takes time, and you have served even as the chairman of the WRC. That is really nice to know. And we hope that we also see you in higher positions in the future. Sir, the next thing is slightly related to keeping in mind students. In many of the interviews which we did, students always worry that how big can the company secretaries grow, because they're, as a student, they're worried about money or remuneration and what kind of benefits we can get. So we don't go into the details about that, but in general, how big can we grow in the profession? That if you can share some thoughts, I'm sure it will inspire many people.
Uh, See, my I would say how big you really want to grow. It all depends upon what you want to do in life.
Yes.
After say 40 years, if you look at, uh, If you look at your success by measurement of money which you will earn, then that's not the right approach. As Harsha Bhogle in one of the speech in IIM Ahmedabad, he said, "You take care of runs. The runs will take care of your paychecks. So you
Yeah.
take care of the work. The work will take care of your paycheck. So don't focus on paycheck. Paycheck will automatically follow if you work." And how big to grow? I would say just start climbing the mountain. We will meet after 5 years, and after 5 years I'll ask you a question, or to my audience I'll ask you a question, that how did you finish your journey? So
Ah.
start climbing.
That's a really good suggestion, sir. So I think we had a great experience, and you have told us everything from the time you took, and you were very frank with all the struggles which you had, and how you were deciding about practice or continuing with employment, and how practice you have taken through NCLT, and how it is really making your firm and you also grow. And most importantly, which I liked, is you told us about how we should update ourselves. Reading is what will really get us far. It may take time, but definitely we'll get the results. That, I think, that was a very good message for everyone who watched it. So as we finish, or we come to the end of this interview, you've given us many suggestions, definitely, especially for young professionals and students. But what would be your parting words for everyone who's watching this interview? They're aspiring company secretaries or young company secretaries. What is your words for them, so that they can take their career in the next 20, 30 years?
uh, Two words: read and read, or rather two piece of advice. Second is, always remember, we know nothing.
Okay, I think that's really humble and simple, sir. Read, and be in the mindset that we know nothing, then we can really grow very high in the profession. So, thanks a lot for your time. That was CS Rahul Sahasrabuddhe, sir, who gave his time and told us everything right from the day he took up company secretary course, about his firm, what he did, what are the areas of practice, what is the wide range of opportunities which our CS Institute has given for the members, and how we should use it. And again, I will repeat, read, and make sure that have a humble mindset. We know nothing, will really grow very high in the life. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to interviewing you and also taking your insights in the future. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.